Okay, so tonight is going to be the Jeff Howell Q&A part 2. We have 4 questions tonight. Of course, I did my live feed, and now I'm doing my pre-recorded video for you YouTubers that don't join Instagram. We're going to answer those questions just so you guys can know and learn. And these are from Jeff himself from Messenger on Facebook. The first question is, was there an interesting story from his time at Creative Engineering? And this is what Jeff says. Sorry, you're gonna have to look at my kitchen tonight. But okay, this is what Jeff says. It said there are probably about 1 million stories in my brain about working at Creative Engineering, but I usually need a trigger word or phase to pull up the memory. There was a company Christmas party we played in '82, and it was just after we released the Abbey Road tape. Aaron was and still is a huge Beatles fan. Now, at that time, Vinny was the drummer for Tropical Cleaners, but he also worked in the computer R&D department, put in 12 to 16-hour days, and played and recorded drums for the band after work hours. He also liked to smoke a lot of pot. We rehearsed the Abbey Road melody all 18 minutes, several dozen times for the party. And the one thing that Aaron absolutely insisted on was that Vinny play the drum solo near the end of the melody exactly like Ringo played it. Vinny was a jazz fusion drumming specialist and played more by feel than memory, and he kept getting the solo wrong in Aaron's eyes. Aaron put his foot down and made Vinny rehearse it over and over until he finally had it down. On the day of the party, Vinny had worked 10 to 12 hours in the computer department and set up his drums for the gig that night. The party went great, and the band was sounding really good that night. We saved the Abbey Road melody for the end. The band played everything right, and then it was time for the drum solo. A stoned off his butt Vinny hit 2 tom-toms and then fell off his stool and semi-passed out on the floor. I know he definitely fell off his stool. It was on tape somewhere. I looked over at Aaron, and his red-faced head was about to shoot off into the atmosphere. He was so mad, I remember Rick and me laughing our butts off. There are a ton of other stories, but that's one of the few I can pull up in my memory right now. It's one of my favorites. The next question is about Jeff's artistic graphics for the promos and things that he comes up with for him and his son. Was asked if he did anything else in the past. So the answer to that is, thank you. I have made my own flyers for about 20 years now. Most of all were either for me solo or my duo or my trio. If you go to photos on Facebook, that's another plug for Jeff, Facebook and YouTube. He wants me to keep mentioning that to y'all. And scroll down, you will see all of them as far as Facebook will let you go back. Up until about 2 or 3 years ago, they were pretty amateur compared to the ones I do now, but thanks again. And this is a question I asked, and this was like, what was the Colander Head Telethon like? Anything about it at all? Which this is something most fans have all seen dozens and dozens of times. The Colander Head Telethon. He said that it was an absolute blast to put together and perform. The audience was 99% employees that were paid to be there, and free food and drink helped get everybody fired up. I'm guessing it was either late '82 or '83 when they recorded it, but thinks Aaron would know better about that than him. Bert and I had not performed our Clutch Band skits in close to a year. We remembered most of it. I absolutely cringe at my voice and the southern version of Howie Mandel comedy that I'm doing in the video. But I was a kid and really hadn't found my style yet. I also received a negative response letter from a showbiz manager that thought I was glorifying drugs when I sniffed the bubbles and pretended that I was high. Oh well, can't please everybody, but yes, it was an absolute blast. P.S. Oh yeah, one last thing. Aaron had told all of the employees to go crazy at the end and to constantly throw confetti to make it look like an insane party. Well, while he and Bert were pumping everyone up at the end of the video, one of the employees kept throwing confetti directly into Aaron's mouth, and he started choking and had to keep leaving the camera a couple times. I think we all noticed and saw that at the end of the video. That was not acting. He was really choking, and I remember him being super ticked about that. PPS, in post-production, the video company called CE also and asked how to spell some names. The CE contract told them, and then said, and just put the name of your company at the end. The video company guy said, yeah, we're going to leave our name off of this. That's okay, because it was so similar. And the last question asked by one of you on here called Duke LaRue. The rest were all questions from Instagrammers. No. It was a question about, did he come up with the title of Don't Smoke Crayolas? The answer from Jeff is, no, I did not make up Don't Smoke Crayolas. I totally stole that from an obscure Smothers Brothers skit that I had on tape. When I first saw the Smothers Brothers, I said, that's what I want to do. Make music and make people laugh. I was such a fan and collected everything I could. That was all pre-internet. You really had to get in your car and hunt for stuff back then. YouTube, some of their skits, they were way ahead of their time, and most of it still holds up. And they were actually fired from their top 10 TV show with heavy pressure coming from the Nixon White House, which, of course, I don't remember because I think their show was in the 60s. And I did see a rerun of their show again in the early 80s, and that's how I knew who they were. And that was the answer for those questions for this week. We still have 2 more that have been asked, and we have 2 new ones that have now been asked. So if you have any new questions for Jeff, please remember it does not have to be Uncle Clunk or showbiz questions. It can be about his career, his solo work, songs, Monsters in the Midday, Clutch, early work in the studio up until 83, maybe even the Pirates stuff that he did in 88. Anything that Jeff has done, it does not have to be showbiz related. So anything you can come up with, please comment down below on this video. Please DM me in Facebook or Instagram, and we'll get your questions asked. And once we get the answers, we'll do another video. And thank you.